Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I thought I would buy some art supplies from Wish just to test out and see what they're like. And you'll probably be familiar with Wish. It's a website that sells just a ton of just random stuff at extremely cheap prices, so the quality can tend to be a little bit hit or miss. And I've never personally bought anything from Wish, so I am excited to see what their art supplies are going to be like. Okay, it's time to do some shopping. I want to go for art supplies. And also because a lot of the stuff on here is really cheap, I want to buy a mix of like dirt cheap things and then also some things that seem correctly priced, just to see what the difference is really. Well, that's a weird one. The first two images look exactly the same, but that one's £12 and that one's 87 pence. 87 pence for 120 pens, and shipping's only £1. Oh wait, hang on, there was a size. So if I want the 120, it's £29. If I want 2 pens, it's 87 pence. 120 is £25 and 120 is £29. So one of them's cheaper, but they both use exactly the same images. This is so confusing. You know what, I'm going to go for the whole 120 pack of pens for £25. And I still think that's a decent price, because you get a lot of pens for your money. Put that into my basket. What else do we want? What's this? A flower glass dip pen, 3D art, transparent nib, colour ink, signature sign, Christmas gift set. Definitely want one of those. Oh, that looks quite nice though, doesn't it? Do you get the inks included? Oh, okay, so you get one pen and one ink, so you don't get the whole collection. Oh, so if I want the full collection, it's £16. I don't want the full collection. I'll go for number 5. I think that looks like a turquoise colour, which will be quite nice. For £7. Okay, we'll add that. Oh, some paintbrushes. We'll have some paintbrushes. Always need more paintbrushes. It's irritating as this site though, because it tells you the price on the actual main page, but then when you click into it, there's loads of different prices. It's incredibly misleading. I'll go for 10 pieces white small. What about, that's 90 pence. How many do you get? You get 10. Alright, 10 paintbrushes for 90 pence. That's less than 10 pence a paintbrush. You can't go wrong with that, can you? We'll buy that. Oh, we've got some paints here as well. Oh, metallic watercolour paint. How much are you actually going to cost though? A is £6, B is £6, C is £7. You know what, I'll go for C, and then we can try out them paints with the paintbrushes. Well, I'll need a sketchbook as well. Let's try and find a sketchbook. This one looks quite nice. It's £7. So many different options. How much is a blue one? £7, okay. The paper quality looks quite nice. Alright, I think I'll go for that. That looks decent. They seem to have a lot of listings for an LED drawing pad, and that one's only £5. Should I test that out? Here's all the options. Right, you've got a £14. Right, so an A6 size is the cheapest one, so that's going to be absolutely tiny, isn't it? Oh, it's sold out. I can't even buy the small one. What about an A5? I can buy an A5 for £11. And the pink's the cheaper one, so we'll go for a pink one, because I like to save money. We'll try that, see if it actually works, or whether it's a complete scam. I do actually need a new scalpel, and I've been meaning to buy one, so I might buy one of these. Why so many options? Actually, I want green. But £2.82, that's not bad. I'll buy that as well. I'm also not going to read all the titles out, because it'll just take us forever. What is this? That's only £1. I know this isn't an art supply, but I'm interested. I'm gonna buy one of these just for the fun of it, really. I know it's not an art supply, but I don't really care. What size am I gonna be? This is in China, isn't it? So their sizes are really small. Am I gonna be a large? Don't make me a large. I'm gonna get a large just in case. Which one do I want? I think I'm gonna go for the one with the tattoos. So I'm gonna be a tattooed Santa Claus. Do you think large will be too big? Oh, it is just right. I'm gonna go for medium. If it ends up being too small, then I've only spent £1, so it doesn't really matter. What's this thing? An electric eraser pen. What? I've never heard of one of these before. They're all the same price. Okay, well, we'll go for a blue one. I'll add that. I'll need to add some pencils then as well. Okay, these look alright. £4. You get 14 pencils, all different sizes. I'll add it to my basket. I think that'll be quite nice. How much stuff do I want to buy? How much stuff have I got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9... 10. I'll try and find one more thing. I wonder if they have any acrylic paint actually. Alright, so they have some here for £3.79. That's pretty cheap for a set of paints. I dread to think what the quality is going to be like. I know it's going to be awful. But we'll try them as well. I'll add them to my cart. Why not? Right, I think that's gonna do is, I just want to check my cart as well though, because I know this website has a habit of adding extra money on for like delivery and stuff. Shipping's £27, how? It has a lot of hidden costs basically. I didn't want to spend £99.51 today, but I'm going to, why not? I better not get scammed. I'm just gonna see if I can find a coupon code. Okay, none of them coupon codes worked. Never mind. Right, well, I'm going to buy all of these art supplies, and I have no idea how long these are going to take to get to us. I'm thinking it's going to take a good couple of months, so I'll see you in the very, very distant future, and we can test out and review all of these art supplies. Okay, I finally have all my supplies, and surprisingly they didn't take that long to get here. I think the last one took about a month to get here. All the others arrived within a couple of weeks, but they've just been sat in the studio because I wasn't ready to record the second part of this video yet. I've been too busy dressing up as a sexy Terry's chocolate orange. But I'm excited to open them up and see what they're like. And in all honesty, I forgot what I've actually bought. So, you know, it's a bit like Christmas. Okay, so I thought the first item I would open is the t-shirt that I bought. And I think this is the t-shirt because it feels like a t-shirt. Now, I did have a little bit of an issue with the t-shirt situation. So the original t-shirt that I bought, it went through fine. And then I got a notification saying that the item's no longer available for some strange reason. So I couldn't buy what I originally wanted to buy. And because I wanted to buy a t-shirt, I decided to buy a different t-shirt. So instead, I bought this one, which cost £7. And it also cost £4 for shipping. So it ended up being an £11 t-shirt, which is just a regular price for a regular t-shirt. So hopefully it'll be good. Hopefully it won't feel cheap. And it's also got quite a biblical feel to it, which is something I don't really have in my wardrobe. So I thought it was quite nice to have that. But anyway, let's open it up, see what it's actually like. I also bought this in medium too, just in case the size was really small. I'm looking at the picture, and the picture looks a lot better than what it looks like in real life. You're not going to be able to tell on camera. On camera, it actually looks pretty much what it looks like on the listing. But in person, it just looks a bit pixelated. I quite like the material. It's got like a soft, sporty kind of material, so I'm into that. I think it might be a little bit too big for us as well, but I'll try it on and we'll see what it looks like. I'm gonna do that off camera because don't want you seeing my nipples. Okay, so this is it on, and I think it looks alright. It looks a bit punchy. I actually don't mind the print. And the material, it's kind of like a loose, just like a stretchy, sporty material, which I kind of like. What does the back look like? Does it look good? It's alright. It's a t-shirt that I'll wear again because now I own it. I think if I tried this on at the shop, I'd put it back. I wouldn't purchase it. You know, it's mine now, and it's something different. I definitely don't own one of these, so that's nice. So I think I'll give this unusual t-shirt, I'll give it 3 out of 5. I think it's quite an average t-shirt. It's not bad. It's not too offensive. I don't hate it. I just don't love it. Anyway, I'm gonna wear this throughout the entire video now, and we'll see what all the other things that I bought are like. I'm a bit hysterical today, I don't know why. Okay, the next item I thought I would open is the sketchbook that I bought. And I think this is the sketchbook because it feels like the sketchbook. And it also says book. And I'm pretty sure this is the only book I bought. See what this is like. Okay, it looks like a normal kind of book. It's got 24 sheets, 300 GSM. That paper you won't be able to tell, but it's nice and thick paper. It's not too bad. It's also perforated along this side so you can tear out your drawings or your sketches or whatever. So I think that's a nice little touch. Oh, and there's a little pocket in the back. That's cute. Okay, so this cost £8.65 in total, including the shipping. I think it ended up being expensive for what it is. I think I could go to just a normal stationery shop and buy something similar to this for a fraction of the price. It's not bad. It's a book. I didn't get something completely different. I'll give it a generous 3 out of 5. But now I need to open up some art materials and test them out in the book. So I guess I'll do that now. Okay, so as you can see, I've already opened this one because this was the one that arrived about a month after I'd ordered it. So I wasn't sure what it actually was or what I'd been buying. And then realized it was the big pack of pens. But I haven't looked inside, so I don't know what they're going to be like. Ah, they look nice, don't they? That's a lot of colours. They're a lot thinner than I was expecting. I thought they were going to be thicker pens. Let's do a bit of swatching. One thing I've noticed straight away is this pen is called Walnut. That's like a green pen. I don't think walnuts are green, are they? They're like brown. What are the others called? This one's called Light Orange. I don't know whether that's an orange colour. Okay, let's sample a few of these, test them out. So they've got a wide nib on that side and a thinner nib on that side. That colour's called Fresh Green. That's not green, that's yellow. There's nothing fresh green about it. That's bright yellow. The pens themselves actually are quite nice. I found my first broken pen. It's dried up. This one doesn't work at all. Ah, that's devastating. Okay, I'm obviously not going to swatch every single pen because I'll be here all day. But I don't think them swatches are too bad. I think the colours are actually really nice. And the pens are pretty decent. Obviously, that's the one that didn't work properly. But all the other colours, they're not bad. That's like a proper decent pack of pens. So these pens cost us £24 plus £8 shipping. £32. I have a pack of other pens in the studio, which I think cost pretty much the same price as these. And I would say they're actually on par. Obviously, I had a dried out one. It's not a bad pack of pens, and the fact that you get all of them colours as well. I'm gonna give this one 4 out of 5. I think it's been a pretty decent purchase. If I hadn't come across a dried out one, it would have probably got 5 out of 5. But I'm not gonna pint off for this. This is unacceptable. Okay, let's open this one up. It says gel pen on it, but I can't remember buying a gel pen. Unless it was that weird ink thing. I don't know, we'll soon see. Oh, no, it's pencils. It's not gel pens at all. Oh, well, I want my rubber as well, because that's what I wanted to try the pencils out with. Do we think the package that says Drillstone will be the electric rubber? Because I also have one in here that says cake molds, and I don't think I bought any cake molds. We'll see. I feel like this is my best bet. Oh, I'm not sure what this is. It's just a little black box. I feel like that's the beginning of like a scary, spooky, ominous story, isn't it? Random artist comes across plain black box, opens it up to find something that changes his entire life.
Lord of my monitor! Damn, this is some scary shit!
I will say that the box has been through the wars a bit. It's a bit dusty and a bit dirty. So we'll see what the inside's like. Oh no, this is the ink pen thing. Why was it called a Drillstone for? Oh well, I may as well test that out now. We'll put the pencils to one side until I come across the rubber. Okay, so the presentation's quite nice. So we have this weird glass kind of teardrop. I'm not sure what this will be for. And this is the pen. Is it a stand or something? Oh, on the pictures it looks like it's just for doing that. It's just like a little placemat. It's a bit different, isn't it? We have a little pot of ink, and it actually looks like it's a red or a pink, which I was expecting a turquoise, but obviously I'm wrong. This feels very elegant in my hand. I feel very sophisticated. Oh, okay. I'm not the best at calligraphy. I'm quite shocked because the ink, when you dip it in, it lasts forever. Like you get a good long drawn time from it. That's actually quite nice. That's not bad. Like that's the ink up close. It's pretty good. It's pretty decent. Obviously just ignore the fact that my handwriting and my calligraphy skills is absolutely shocking. I'm not mad at that. And the ink's still on there. It's still lasting a while. I'm into this. I don't mind it. I think I'll give the little glass dip pen. I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5. I think it was a pretty decent purchase. I'm quite happy with it. Oh, that's nice. I'll use that again. Maybe. I think I just told the lie. I don't think I'll use it again, but I'll keep it. You never know. It'll come in handy at some point. Right, let's see what else I've got. I want to try and find that rubber. Oh, here. I'm such an idiot. On this package it says electric eraser pen. So that must mean it's the electric eraser pen. Okay, this looks pretty much what I was expecting it to look like. I've just realised I bet I need batteries. What batteries are you going to take? Are they double A's or triple A's? I think they might be double A's. I do have some. No, they're triple A's, aren't they? Fortunately, I have some triple A's as well. I'm very prepared today. Makes a change. Ooh. That goes quite fast. You have to hold your finger on it. Okay, well, I'll try these pencils out and then I can do some rubbing out. Okay, these pencils actually look quite nice. Yeah, you've got loads of different sizes. So you've got the proper chunky ones and then the very thin graphite ones. So you go from HB, actually no you don't, you go from 2H. No, you go from 4H even. 4H all the way to 10B. So that's quite a decent range. Well, the pencils work, so that's nice. Now let's try this electric eraser. That's quite powerful. I've got eraser shavings everywhere. It was flying at us. But that's pretty nice, isn't it? I did like a little flower. Oh, that's not bad actually. I really like this tool. How much did I spend on both of these? So in total I spent £5.80 on the pencils and £11 on the eraser pen. I think I'm going to give the pencils 5 out of 5. I think they're really nice quality pencils. The eraser pen, I think I'll give that 4 out of 5. I think it's quite a clever little invention that I'd never seen before. You know, I see all these videos on people doing kind of wish hauls and everything being like terrible and bad and stuff. And so far, I think everything's been alright. I haven't come across any disasters or anything. Everything's worked. Everything's looked pretty much what it was supposed to look like. Don't know why people complain. Right, let's try some of the art materials. Okay, so these are my paintbrushes. And I was wanting to try the paintbrushes with my paint. But I have one here that says it's a blindfold. And I'm pretty sure I didn't buy a blindfold. Unless I was just feeling particularly kinky and decided to buy one off camera. I've also got one called a hookup. I'm not sure what that could even mean. And then cake molds. Okay, let's see what the cake mold is. Alright, so my cake mold's my acrylic paint. I think these are my paintbrushes. Okay, they just came like that. They didn't come in any kind of packaging or anything, which is fine, I don't mind. They look alright. Basically looks like a paintbrush. And I have a feeling this might be the watercolour paint. It is. The watercolour paint palette is a little bit interesting because I don't think it looked like that at all. Oh no, it did kind of look like that. I was just expecting it to be in like a proper palette. These are just loose cubes in just like a little plastic box. That's fine, we'll try it out anyway. I think the colours look quite nice on this watercolour palette as well. They're very like shimmery and metallic, aren't they? Let's see how well they perform. Okay, I don't think they're too bad actually. I'm quite surprised. They have got a nice shine to them. I think they're all supposed to be metallic, but some of them are a little bit more metallic than others. But that's not a bad paint, you know, for the price I paid. That's alright. I kinda like that little palette, I'm not gonna lie. It surprised us at how good it actually was. And the paintbrushes were fine too. Yeah, I think I'm gonna give the watercolour paint palette and the paintbrushes 5 out of 5. I think they were pretty good. Didn't come across any disasters or anything like that. I'm pretty pleased. I've got myself a new little watercolour palette. And 10 more paintbrushes. Okay, let's see what these acrylic paints are like. Apparently I get 12 tubes of different colours in here. I feel like this is going to be very much a pound shop acrylic paint. I have very low expectations. It's well presented though, and you get a paintbrush in with it, so that's nice. Right, I think I'll swatch all of these just so we can get a good idea of what they're like. It smells like a normal acrylic paint, if you were wondering. Okay, the colours themselves don't look too bad. See how you're going to perform on paper. Okay, they weren't the worst paints. Well, actually, they probably were the worst paints I've ever tried. They definitely weren't the best paints. Like, they look a bit sheer, a bit... Just not the best. The black and the orange and the red weren't too bad. The greens actually were alright. The yellows weren't good. The brown was horrible. And the blues weren't the best either. How much did I pay for it though? In total I paid £4.79. It's just a cheap little pack of craft paints. They were fine for what they were, but I would much prefer to spend a bit more money on just some proper better paints. I'll give them 2 out of 5. For the price, they were fine for what they were, but I would have just rather not bought them. Okay, and it's time to open up my blindfold, which I have a feeling is going to be my scalpel, and I'm not sure why it's labelled a blindfold for. Alright, that's quite a nice little scalpel. I like the colour and the design, and it feels nice in my hand. For some reason in their picture, I'm sure it said that I got loads of like different blades and stuff. I'm sure I bought a green with 5 blades. Oh wait, there are. They're right at the bottom. I would have thrown this out. There we go. Oh, and you've got lots of different shaped blades, which I'm not entirely sure what they're for. But that's nice and sharp. Works very well. So in total I paid £3.72. Yeah, it was alright. I'll give it 3 out of 5. It's exactly what I expected. And the final one, which is the little light box. See what you're like. It's incredibly thin. It feels cheap. It feels incredibly cheap. Gives you some very rough instructions. It says in the instructions, professional copy in animation, cartoon, tattoo tracing, craft projects, fabric design, photograph, film, and even as X-ray viewer in hospital. Don't think they're going to be using these in hospitals. I really don't. The hospital must be incredibly hard up if they're using this. Have a look at your X-ray. It also says super bright and eco-friendly LED, ensure extreme low calorific value. Didn't realise it was edible. Well, obviously a lot of them things are going to be lost in translation, aren't they? So it shouldn't be too horrible. Also, this cable is just incredibly small. Right, let's see if this works. That looks really bright on camera. It's not bright in person. It is so dull. It's alright. Let me have a look at the picture. Oh, apparently I can adjust the dimming. Oh, there we go. Oh, here's me slagging it off. You can change the brightness. Oh, that's really bright actually. Oh, that's not bad. I was full on gonna proper rip this to shreds. How much did I spend on this? I spent £11 on this. I don't think that's bad at all. 11 quid. The only thing I wish that had been a bit better is they'd provided you with a longer cable. But other than that, it is what it is and it's pretty good actually. I'm gonna give it 4 out of 5. The brightness setting definitely won me over. But that just about does it for me buying and testing out various art supplies from Wish. And considering it was my first time ever buying stuff on Wish, I found it to be an alright experience. I see all these other people having really bad meltdowns over just crappy products, and I don't think I've really experienced that today. I think if I was to do like a Wish clothing haul, that would be a completely different thing, because I can imagine clothing would be very, very questionable. But art supplies, they were alright. They were fine. Yes, the acrylic paint was a bit crappy, but I pretty much knew that was going to happen. Watercolour paint, on the other hand, not bad at all. Pretty pleased with it. I'll use that again. But let me know what your thoughts are on all of these materials. If you did enjoy today's video, then make sure to give it a thumbs up, and I'll see you next week for a brand new video.